Yo, what is up? What is up? Welcome into the latest and greatest edition of Sentell's Intel Live on Facebook. I am your host, the sensational Sentell Wideman, and I am glad that you are spending your Wednesday evening with me. So much to get into. We're going to discuss the games from this past weekend, college and NFL. We're going to put those to bed. Then on tomorrow's show, we'll get ready to preview and break down the weekend's games, as well as preview the Texans and Bengals Thursday night game for us the NFL go. All kinds of things to talk about. But first, let me start off by saying let me wish everyone and pray for everyone who was involved or impacted by Hurricane Irma. Hopefully you guys are okay. Hopefully your family's okay. So glad that that's passed, and hopefully no one suffered significant damages. Definitely hope no one lost any loved ones. So let's be thankful that it's gone, and hopefully we won't see one for a while. But welcome into the show. This is a sports show, so I know how hard it is to transition from sports, from some real life stuff to sports, but that's what we do here. We're a sports show, so that's what we're going to attempt to do. We're going to attempt to try and move on from Hurricane Irma and move on to sports. So, and I want to start with this tonight. I brought up the Texans and Bengals for Thursday night, but I want to start by talking about those Bengals. This is how I want to start the program. You know, we all know who've been in relationships before and long relationships. There comes a time in the relationship where you know it has reached this tipping point where you've been together so long and you realize that it's deep in your heart that you know you probably shouldn't be together anymore. You probably should break up and go your separate ways. You probably would be better off. But you've been together so long that you're comfortable and you're scared of change. You're scared of what may happen if you leave said person or you break up. And much like that relationship, you have the Cincinnati Bengals. So if you don't know, the Cincinnati Bengals this past Sunday were beaten 20-0 by the Baltimore Ravens. Shut out. Completely beat down, embarrassed. How rare is a shutout in the NFL, you say? In the last season, there were only 3 shutouts in the entire NFL. The Texans were shut out. We all know last year about their offensive problems, whether it was Brock Osweiler, just the offensive ineptitude of the Texans. So we can get that, right? The Rams was shut out last year. We all know Jeff Fisher, Jared Goff situation, Shannon Manning, whoever they put in that quarterback. We know why, right? Then there were the Patriots. And you said the Patriots. Well, if you remember, Brady was suspended for 4 games. And Jimmy G had gotten injured. So they had to try out Jacoby Brissett. So they were shut out. So 3 shutouts, but we can all explain those 3 shutouts. But the Bengals, who have a lot of offensive players, a lot of offensive talent. A.J. Green, one of the premier receivers in the league. Tyler Eifert, one of the best young tight ends in the league. Gio Bernard, Jeremy Hill, all those guys that the Bengals have. So no excuse for the Bengals to ever be shut out. But it leads me back to what I mentioned earlier about relationships. So I want to tie it all together. You know, when you be with somebody so long, like I was mentioning earlier, that you get to a point where you both know in your heart that you should break up. But you're comfortable because you've been together so long, you familiarize with each other, you're comfortable. Things aren't the best, they aren't the worst, but they're just okay. So you okay with that, so you don't want to go anywhere. So that brings me to the Bengals. Marvin Lewis has been here now 14 seasons. He's 0-7 in the playoffs, 118 wins to 103 losses. But the prior 10 years before Marvin Lewis got there, the Bengals were 52 and 124. So, of course, you get Marvin, you've been a 52 and 124 in 10 seasons. He's been there. He starts winning early. They go to playoffs. So you're satisfied. You're happy. You're getting what you want out of it. But then it comes to a point where you get stagnant. It's like a long relationship. His voice has grown cold. And that's what I saw on Sunday. For a team like the Bengals to go out and get shut out 20-0 with the players that I just mentioned, Andy Dalton threw 4 interceptions. They look putrid and pathetic. It just leads me to believe that it's time for a change. But are the Bengals willing to make that change? Or have they gotten so comfortable and so just stagnant that they're okay with just being okay? Maybe they don't want to be extraordinary. Maybe they don't want to be excellent. Maybe they don't want these things. Maybe they just want to be okay. And some people are content with being okay. But that's not how you should want to be. But if you're the Bengals fans, look what we were. We were 52-124 before Marvin got there. We're 118-103 since he's been there. We haven't won in the playoff games, but we're better than what we were before. But is that what you really want? Just like a relationship. Hey, it ain't the best. It ain't the worst. It's just okay. The Bengals are just okay with being okay. But are your fans okay with being okay? That's the question I have to ask. In the short term, what can they do? Maybe bench Andy Dalton, put A.J. McCarron in, give him a shot. Long term, though, I think you got to start looking at replacing Marvin Lewis, the GM. I mean, if you really want to be something, if you really want to be successful, at the end of the day, are you okay with just being okay? So that was the analogy of me tying a long relationship into the Cincinnati Bengals, even though, whatever. Hey, but let's get into the college football from over the weekend. Let me start. No, you know what? I don't want to start with that. Let me transition, because I know you're gonna hate me for a second, but I have to say this. I want to talk a minute about the Cleveland Indians. I know people. I know. I see people right now shutting their phones off, turning their computers off. I get it. We don't want to talk baseball, but I have to mention the Cleveland Indians. 21 straight wins as of today to break the American League record. They have been outstanding. During this amazing streak, they've only trailed 4 innings total. Let that sink in. They've only trailed 4 innings total during this 21-game winning streak. They have a run differential of 104, and they're averaging about 4.95 runs a game. The team ERA is at 3.08 during this stretch. Corey Kluber has been outstanding. Lindor has been excellent, 30 home runs from him. Edwin Encarnacion has 34 home runs. Santana has been playing well. So this team is looking like the team we thought they'd be, because they was the runner-up to the champions last year. A lot of people forget that they took the Cubs 7 games last year. So the Indians were a good team last year. They add Edwin Encarnacion. They pick up Jay Bruce, the waiver wire. He's added another left-handed bat in the lineup. So Indians, 21 straight wins with, I don't know, they might never lose again to the playoffs. Who knows? They may win all the way out, but they broke the Oakland A's record today, 21 straight wins. So I felt the need to mention that, because I know you people don't care about baseball like you should, but I do. And damn it, I'm going to bring it up. Why? Because it's my show and I can do that. So let me move on to what I was going to talk about. We're going to put these games from last week to bed. I would have been on earlier. Like I said, a lot of stuff been going on. The hurricane, had a wedding last week, so this is my first time getting on in a while. But we're going to put these games of the weekend to bed before tomorrow's show. We'll preview the games to Saturday and Sunday. We'll get you ready for the Texans and Bengals on Thursday night. News out of the Texans and Bengals game is that Deshaun Watson may start. I don't know, but we shall see. Moving on, and we'll start with Oklahoma and Ohio State. And then a rematch from last season's game when Ohio State went out to Norman and beat Oklahoma last year. And apparently Baker Mayfield did not forget about said trip trip to Ohio State to took the Norman and beat him down. He brought it up all week during the press conferences, how much he wanted this game, how much he wanted to win this game, and he played like he wanted to win this game. 27 of 35 for 386 yards. They racked up 490 yards total against Ohio State defense, that bunted Ohio State defense that we were told so much about in the preseason. But Oklahoma dominated them, outscored them 28-13 in the second half. And again, I hate to keep beating this horse. Over and over. But J.T. Barrett, I'll say this again, J.T. Barrett is so overrated and so limited as a quarterback. Until he leaves Ohio State, they will not win a national championship. I hate the people. I know. I see my Buckeye fans out there. I can see y'all. I get it. Y'all not winning a national championship as long as J.T. Barrett is your quarterback. It won't happen. And as you remember, the 2014 national championship that the Buckeyes did get was because J.T. Barrett got hurt. He gets hurt, and then Cardale Jones comes in, and the rest is, we know, history. But if J.T. Barrett doesn't get hurt in 2014, I'm not sure Ohio State wins that championship in 2014 either. But he was 19 of 35, 183 yards and a pick. So he's just so limited. Great win by Oklahoma. Probably one of the better wins because for some reason AP polls still love Ohio State. They're still ranked in the top 10. I have no idea why. But Baker Mayfield, salute to you, man. And I think you had no business apologizing for putting that flag in the O. I loved it. Would encourage you to do it again. Hey, if you talk and you back it up, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want to do. So Oklahoma, who was number 5 at the time, Ohio State, who was number 2. Oklahoma wins 31-16. So we put that to bed and look forward to their next opponents. Will the Tribe ever lose? I just spoke about the Tribe earlier, man. I mean, they have been unbelievable. 21 straight, and I mentioned the run differential of 104. They averaging about 5 runs a game. They have been outstanding. They may just win out because they've been dominant. They have not just been beating people. They've just been clobbering people. So they may not lose again. Yeah, I think people in Columbus agree with you, Chris, right now. But I think it's a combination of just too much trust. Urban has too much trust and belief in J.T. Barrett. But he has to see that the offense is so limited with J.T. Barrett. It's so limited. They can't do a whole lot. But let's move on to another big game on Saturday was Auburn versus Clemson. The number 13 ranked Auburn Tigers traveled to Death Valley to take on the number 3 ranked Clemson Tigers. It was a low-scoring defensive slugfest. In the end, Clemson outduels Auburn and gets a 14-6 win. Clemson held Auburn to 117 yards of offense. Let me say it again. They held Auburn, Gus Malzahn's Auburn Tigers, to 117 yards total. I did not stutter. That is not a typo. That happened. 117 yards of offense for Auburn Tigers. Also, the 11 sacks at Clemson. 11 sacks. The difference in the game to me, even though both defenses were pretty stout, the ability of Kelly Bryant to extend some plays, make some off-rhythm plays, make some plays, on a game like that, plays aren't going to be open, so you have to improvise. And I think the ability of Kelly Bryant to improvise, make some things happen with his legs, made a couple big throws, couple big-time throws to Raymond McLeod. But just his ability to extend plays, improvise. And on the other hand, Jared Stidham couldn't improvise, couldn't make plays with his feet, held on the ball way too long. There hence the 11 sacks. So Kelly Bryant, 19 of 29, 180, ran for another 59 yards and 2 TDs. But he showed some toughness, showed some leadership that you want out of your quarterback position. So I think for now that I think the quarterback situation is really settled, unless Kelly just falls flat on his face in the next couple of weeks. But played well enough Saturday night, did a few good things. But Clemson gets to win 14-6. Defense is good as advertised. The front seven is good as advertised. As Auburn. So Clemson beats Auburn 14-6. Move on to the next game. Stanford, number 14, Stanford took on the number 6 ranked USC Trojans. It was a 42-24 win by the USC Trojans. And I got to tell you, I love Sam Darnold before the season. I really love this guy now. I mean, he was absolutely sensational on Saturday. I mean, the throws this guy made, the poise that he shows. I mean, he looks like the real deal. 21 of 26, 316 yards passing, 4 TDs. They went over 600 yards with the offense. Both running backs had 100 yards rushing. USC offensively, folks, looks to be the real deal. Worried about defense a little bit because they gave up some yards to the running back from Stanford. He had 160-yard rushing. But offensively, USC is going to be a problem. They had the ball for 34 minutes in the game also. So the combination of Sam Darnold and Ronald Jones, the men of Troy, who I had in my Final Four, making me look good right now. We'll see. Long way to go. How do you think you guys stack up against? The question is, how do Florida Gators stack up against Tennessee? And I told you guys at the beginning of the season that Tennessee is going to stink. Nothing has changed my mind about Tennessee stinking. They gave up almost 700 yards of offense to Georgia Tech. I don't like to say should or could lost, but let's face it, Georgia Tech fumbled going into the end zone. That would have put the game away. Tennessee somehow finds a way to win it, but Tennessee doesn't scare me at all. Not even a little bit. They got a little running game. Defense is like you give up 700 yards, almost 700 yards. I don't know how we'll look. I mean, with the week off, the hurricane, just a lot. We got a lot going on internally, other than football. But we should beat Tennessee regardless. So I don't make no excuses about all the situation that's outside of football that's going on in Florida. But we should definitely beat them at home. But Tennessee, I mean, who is Tennessee? I mean, I told you they're gonna suck out loud. I said 5-7 at the beginning of the season. They beat Georgia Tech, so I'll give them 6-6, 75. I'm not impressed, not even a little bit. Tennessee stinks. But moving on to the games from the weekend. Another good game. The 15th ranked Georgia Bulldogs traveled to South Bend, Indiana, of all places, to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in what was a low-scoring, defensive, old-school type football game. Georgia wins 20-19. Did hold Notre Dame to 266 yards with the offense. Jake Fromm, he didn't do a whole lot. 16-29 for 141 yards. A TD pass. I mean, but it was ball control offense. They ran the ball for 185 yards as a team. So Georgia just controlled the clock. Played very well on defense. Like I said, held Notre Dame to 266 yards with the offense. So good win for Georgia. Really solid win. But they're going to have to get more explosive in the passing game. But I think Miko Hartman can be a really huge player for them. Got to hang on to the ball. But this guy is a game-breaking type athlete. They need on the outside to help this offense. Because right now it's more of a dink and dunk offense and a running offense. But they really got to get more explosive on the outside if they want to go to where they think they can go as Georgia. They're going to have to improve in that area. But defensively, you return 10 starters. You expect to be good on defense. So far they have been. But we shall see. But a good win for Georgia nevertheless. 2019 over Notre Dame. Moving on. South Carolina, Missouri. Carolina wins 31-13. Held the ball for 37 minutes and 36 seconds. Jake Bentley did some nice things. 18-28, 187 yards, 1 TD, but no turnovers. They did hold the quarterback from Missouri. I'm having a blank right now, but they had 70 points last week, even though it was against a Division III school. But they held him to 245 yards passing, also turned him over twice, so he was 14-32. So they did an outstanding job defensively against Missouri. And like I said, they ran the ball for 172 as a team. So good win for Carolina on the road, a 2-0 start. 8-4 definitely in play. I thought they would go 7-5, but now 8-4 is definitely in reach. So good win for Carolina in the Battle of the Columbias. I'll remember that kid's name in a few minutes. I'm gonna be upset. I can't remember his name. What's his name? Can't think of his name. The quarterback. This slips my mind, but good win for Carolina. That was the big games on Saturday. We'll move on to the NFL. Yeah, Jamias had a pick. Nice break on the pass. Telegraphed a little bit, but outstanding pick by Jamias. I like him a lot. Solid looking freshman. Drew Lock. It just slips my mind because y'all locked him down. Drew Lock locked down. Yeah, good job by Carolina. But you knew Muschamp, even with the lack of talent on defense, eventually he has a scheme and he'll get the talent to go with said scheme to slow down people like that. So good start to Carolina, 2-0. Couldn't start any better, especially going on the road. Missouri, it's a tough place to play. I know every game we played there so far has been a dog fight, but to beat them handily, 31-13, and in the midst of that, get the defensive coordinator fired. So good job, Carolina. You got somebody fired. They felt so bad about their defensive performance that they fired their defensive coordinator. I'm just saying. They fired the defensive coordinator. That's all I'm saying. As a side note, I want to mention one game, and I only want to mention it because the reigning, current, defending Heisman Trophy winner made a statement last weekend. He went 25 of 39 for 393 yards passing, ran it for 19 for another 132 yards. Now, I know they were playing the Tar Heels, who aren't exactly the Ravens' 2000 defense. Hey, they aren't even the 2015 North Carolina Tar Heels defense. But anytime a man goes for 393 in the air and 132 on the ground, I have to mention it. He was sensational. I watched a lot of that game. And like I said, I know the Tar Heels defense stank, but I had to mention my man, I forget his name, Lamar Jackson, reigning Heisman Trophy winner, put on a show. So we look forward to Clemson and Louisville Saturday night. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. We'll get in depth, break that down, talk about the keys to victory. So that were your big games on Saturday. Let's move on to first have a question. Do they have a shot at beating Clemson? Absolutely. They'll be at home. We all remember Louisville played how well Louisville played at home last year. Asked Florida State about going to Papa John's Stadium in a big game. My only issue is Louisville doesn't have a lot around Lamar. They had a whole lot more last year. It's really only him right now. It's either him or bust. And Clemson got horses, man. They got so much. It's not the talent, it's the depth of talent that Clemson has. I mean, they got second team guys that could be like ones on a lot of other teams right now. So I just don't know if one man can beat Clemson, especially with that front. But Lamar Jackson, I would not bet against that guy. He's that type of guy who could go out and give one of these performances where he could go for 500 yards of total offense by himself. and do some things. But he could put up 500 yards and lose, because I think that's how good Clemson can be. Also, but it's gonna be an interesting matchup. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But yeah, they definitely have a chance Saturday. I mean, you got the Heisman Trophy winner. You're at home. First time Clemson starter goes on the road. So definitely things working in Louisville's favor. So let's move on to NFL from this past weekend. We started with the Thursday night opener, the Patriots and the Chiefs. The Patriots unveiled, their plaque for the Super Bowl, 5th Super Bowl title. They had a big pregame, spectacular thing. Mark Wahlberg was there. They had a concert. They shot fireworks. They did banners. They did the works. Unfortunately, they didn't get a W. The Chiefs, with one of the more impressive wins in a long time in the NFL. The Patriots just do not lose at home, especially a home opener where they're coming off a Super Bowl title, and then the Chiefs played so well, particularly Alex Smith. He goes 28 of 35 for 368 yards and 4 TDs. Yeah, that Alex Smith. That Alex Smith went for 368 yards. The rookie Kareem Hunt out of Toledo, 17 carries for 148 yards. He also caught 5 passes for 98 yards and 2 more TDs. He was sensational. The Chiefs' offense racked up about 537 yards worth of offense against a Belichick defense, which just doesn't happen, people. Brady was just average, 16 to 36 for 267, 0 TDs. So one of the most impressive wins you will see in the NFL. Probably the most impressive win you'll see all season, given the emotion and the energy in the building, because you knew New England would come out fired up after winning the Super Bowl, raising the banner, all that rah stuff that goes along with winning Super Bowls and being the Super Bowl champion. And we start the season, and I think only one home team had lost in that home opener at the Super Bowl, defending Super Bowl champion. So this was loss number 2. So a shocking victory by the Chiefs on Thursday, 42-27. Alex Smith played out of his mind. So kudos to the Chiefs, but the victory was probably bittersweet. In that victory, they lose one of the best safeties in all of football. Eric Berry is out for the season with a torn Achilles. This guy hasn't been through enough, overcoming cancer and now out for the season. So we wish him the best, speedy recovery to Eric Berry. But good win by the Chiefs, great win by the Chiefs. I don't know how they recover from losing Berry. That is a significant loss to their Super Bowl hopes. By the way, I had the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, just for the record. I had them just for the record. Duke is favored by 14 over Baylor. Hey, Duke put a beat down on which I thought at the time was the second best team in the Big Ten West, Northwestern. They put a bully beat down on Northwestern last week. I took Northwestern. Never mind. I can't mention it on the air. But Duke manhandled Baylor, manhandled Northwestern last week. So I'm not surprised that Duke is favored that much over Baylor. And I'm pretty sure the game's in Durham. So yeah. Yeah, Baylor just lost. I mean, they lost to Liberty, man. They lost to Liberty. And so Baylor has no leg to stand on. You know the problems that at Baylor at this very moment. So we all know what's going on with Baylor's program. But I'm not shocked. Yeah, Kareem Hunt, the rookie, had about He had 40 points in standard leagues in fantasy. So a lot of people scratching their head and like, where did that guy come from? So yeah, sounds like you miss Alex Smith in San Fran. No, we don't miss Alex Smith. Alex Smith is a nice little quarterback. I call him check down Alex. He's limited, but he can do some nice things. He's very serviceable, very above average quarterback. Can win some games in the league. Has proven it, but it's not. I can't see him winning the Super Bowl with the style of the way he plays. But a very good quarterback. I mean, you can put him on our team right now. He's gonna suck. You can put anybody on our team right now at quarterback. They're gonna suck. Anybody, because the team sucks right now. Okay, we are in a complete rebuild mode. As a 49er fan, I understand and I'm patient, so I know what's going to happen this season. But I think the future look bright. I like my GM and my head coach, but we're going in the right direction. But impressive win by the Chiefs. Moving on to another really good game on Sunday: Seahawks and Packers. Packers get the win 17-9. Aaron Rodgers was 28 of 42 for 311 yards and a TD. Just doing what he normally does against a really good defense in Seattle. But let's talk about Seattle a little bit. I picked them to win the division, but at the time I picked them, I told you guys that they're going to win the division because the West is so bad. Seattle is a bad offensive football team. Like, I mean, really bad. I mean, they are horrible. I mean, they can't run the football. They asked Russell Wilson to do way too much. He's not capable. They don't have any reliable receivers other than Doug Baldwin. The offensive line is a complete fraud of an NFL offensive line, a joke. When Green Bay can hold you to 225 yards of offense, look, I did not say the Chiefs defense, the Texans defense, the Giants defense. I didn't say any of those. I said the Green Bay Packers defense held Seattle to 225 yards of offense. Seattle scored 9 points. 9. Russell Wilson was 14 of 27, but for 158 yards. He led the team in rushing. And anytime your quarterback leads the team in rushing yards, that is bad. That is bad. Unless you have Michael Vick in his prime, that is not a good situation. Or Cam Newton right now. Your quarterback should never lead your team in rushing, especially when you want to be a rusher team. They want to run the ball and be a power team, but they don't have the pieces. Seattle is a bad football team, a bad offensive football team. I like the defense, but no matter how good your defense is, and get a load of this, Green Bay held the ball for 39 minutes. Let me say it again. Green Bay held the ball for 39 minutes. There was 60 minutes in the game. I mean, when your offense is going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and you going up against Aaron Rodgers, giving him the ball that many times, I mean, you're going to lose 99% of the time. So, offensively, Seattle is just bad. They'll make the playoffs. They'll win the division because the division is so bad. 49ers, the Rams, the Cardinals, all no good. None of those teams are any good. But Seattle managed to get 9 wins perhaps and win the division. But they're just a bad offensive football team. And anybody who buying stock in Seattle, if you got stock in Seattle, you should sell right now. Because since the Super Bowl run, they've regressed every year. And offensively, they are just a mess. When the Packers can hold you to 225 yards of offense, that's a problem. So big win for Green Bay, 17-9 over Seattle. And one more game for the weekend, of course, Sunday Night Football, Giants v. Cowboys. Cowboys win 19-3. And as I just mentioned with Seattle Seahawks, the Giants' offense is a mess. They can't run the ball. They can't protect Eli. Eli looks like he's 36. Cowboys look good offensively. They can do some things. I mean, Giants defense is really stout. But Dak played well, 24-39 for 268, a touchdown, no picks. Zeke went over 100 yards on 24 carries. So the Cowboys had that kind of offense where they can move the ball. They can generate enough offense against anybody's defense, no matter how good the defense is. But when when the opposing team's offense is going 3 and out, you just you don't give yourself a chance. I mean, Eli was 29 of 38, 220 yards and threw a pick. They only had 200 yards, 233 yards of offense, 35 yards on the ground as a team, 35 yards rushing. You heard me. I said 35 yards rushing for the Giants against the Giants. I mean, the Cowboys defense. This ain't the 85 Bears defense. They can't run it. They can't protect Eli. That's why I got off that ship early in the preseason, and I picked the Cowboys to win the division because you can't run, you can't block, you can't throw. I don't care how good your defense is. The Giants have a top 5 defense, maybe top 3. I mean, a very, very good defense, but the offense is going to be the killer. Offense is going to be a downfall. But I was impressed with the Cowboys, like I say, because they have enough offense where they can generate stuff. They got just enough. Dak is good enough. Zeke is good enough. Dez is good enough. They can beat really good defensive teams, and that's what they did Sunday night. Very workmanlike 19-3 victory. They dominated the game for the most part. 34 minutes of time possession. So they do what they do. They run the ball. They control the clock. They keep their defense off the field. So when they do come on the field, they're fresh. So that's what they did Sunday night. So got to give it up. Give it up to the Cowboys. Good win for them on Sunday. Yes, Chris. Raiders had a very good win on the road against a good Tennessee team who I had as a playoff team. I also believe that Tennessee will actually win the division now. I had the Texans, but I'm not sure about the Texans right now. No Dwayne Brown at tackle. Their offensive line looked putrid. I don't know right now if they had an offensive line that could protect either quarterback. But good win by the Raiders. Raiders will finish second in the AFC West. We'll make the playoffs. Don't trust him in the back secondary at all. But I love Derek Carr, love Crabtree, love Amari Cooper, love the addition of Marshawn Lynch. He ran hard the other day. 74 yards, like 18 carries. I mean, that's a very solid day for a guy who hasn't played football in a year. So I mean, Raiders, man. I like the Raiders. I mean, I think they're really good. I wish their defense was better. I mean, I love Khalil Mack, but outside of him, I don't like a whole lot about that team other than him defensively. But that's a good win at a good Tennessee team. I agree. I like I said, I think Tennessee probably will win the AFC South. So good win by the Raiders. Our phone lines are open right now. So if you want to call in, 864-378-5943, 378-5943. If you want to talk about some of the games from the past weekend, anything in the world of sports that's on your mind, call in right now. I have pretty much gone over everything I'm going to go over. I'll probably end up repeating some of the stuff I already said. So if you want to call 378-5943, we can even talk about the games upcoming this week, even though I'm going to have a show tomorrow. And we'll preview some of those games from this weekend, NFL and college. So if you want to do that, you can. If you want to talk about them red hot Cleveland Indians, 21 straight wins as of today to break the American League record. I opened the show talking about I think it's time for a change in Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bengals was shut out Sunday, and they looked putrid in doing it. 20-0, Andy Dalton, 4 interceptions. They looked horrible. So, over the weekend, college football, Oklahoma over Ohio State, Clemson over Auburn, USC over Stanford, Georgia over Notre Dame, South Carolina over Missouri. Lamar Jackson had a big time performance. If you want to talk about that, we can. So anything that's on your mind related to the sports world, hey, I'm here. Lines are open. Call in. I'm going to be here for another 20 minutes, 18 roughly, 17 now, 864-378-5943, 378-5943. If you want to talk about games coming up this week, games that happened last week, anything pertaining to the sports world, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Don't want to get off the rails. Don't want to start getting off into other subjects, other things. Hey, man, it's been a long time since the Indians won. Shit, was 1948? Was 1948? I'm pretty sure it's been 1948 since the Indians. Was that Bob Feller? Did that Bob Feller? Man, Bob Feller like the 60s, right? That can't be Bob Feller, right? That's 1940. That can't be Bob Feller. I know that's not Bob Feller. And you can't count the playoff appearances in the American League Championship that they had in the Major League moves. You can't count those. Those can't be counted. But I mean, the Indians were close last year. I mean, it was up 3-1 on the Cubs last year, and somehow the Cubs managed to fight back and take 3 in a row and win. I love Terry Francona. I think he's the best, if one of the best, if not the best managers in baseball. So I like him. I like the look of the team. I just like the way they play the game. They got some good ball players. I'm kind of jealous. I wish my team was that good right now because we stink. We stink. We look like a minor league team right now. I'm speaking about my Atlanta Braves, but oh yeah, them great names. Oh yes, the Albert Bells, Carlos Baerga, and the Kenny Loftons and Jim Tome's team. Oh yeah, Sandy Alomar Jr. Oh yeah, I know that team well. Let me tell you something. We beat that team in '95. That might be the best lineup, one of the best lineups in the history of baseball. That lineup was loaded. I mean, that '95 team, that '95 team. And I'm thinking, no, I don't think Roberto was on that team. But Sandy Alomar and Albert Bell, Carlos Baerga, that team was loaded, man. I was so happy to beat that team in '95. So yeah, the Indians, yeah, that little run right there between like the mid '90s to late '90s, Progressive Field. They used to have it when it was called Jacobs Field. Oh, Jacobs Field used to rock. Jacobs Field. Oh, I remember Jacobs Field when it first opened. That used to be the spot. I think it's like Progressive Field now, something like that. But yeah, it'd be nice to see the Indians do their thing. I don't root for nobody's team but my own, so I'll just be watching. I'll be interested to see how the Astros perform. I want to see the Dodgers, who don't drop 11 straight from like what happened? They was like 92-40, and all of a sudden they lost like 11 games in a row. So I want to see how the Dodgers do. I want to see if Clayton Kershaw can actually do something in the postseason. Same for David Price. So the playoffs going to be very interesting. Some big market teams. So people will be watching. I'll be watching. Playoffs, they were really good last year. So hopefully they're as good as they were this year. Lines are open if you're watching me. Don't just watch, participate. Call in 378-5943. 378-5943. This is the first of 2 shows. I'll have a show tomorrow. Probably have a guest host, maybe 2. Who knows? But I'll be back tomorrow also. But if you're just getting in, we was talking about the college football games from the past weekend and some NFL games also. So if you want to talk about that, we'd also a lot of baseball talking here today. Who knew? Who knew I would come here and be talking about baseball today? I mentioned the Indians earlier, and all of a sudden Now I got baseball on my timeline, and I love it. You know, as a baseball guy, I love it. I don't get enough of it. So when I can talk some baseball, I am excited and happy about it. I always no, it's football, basketball here, but hey, we talk about everything. You know, tennis, hey, whatever. It's the ultimate sports show. We talk about it. Something happened while we was gone also. Sloane Stephens, the American, won the U.S. Open. So congratulations to her. She beat it slips my mind, the Keys girl. I can't remember her first name. But in the semifinal, there were all four women were American. I don't know if that's ever happened before. I didn't look it up, but it was just great to see all American semifinal. You had Venus Williams, Sloane Stephens, Coco Vandeweghe, who is Kiki Vandeweghe's daughter. If you know anything about the NBA, you know Kiki Vandeweghe. So it's good to see the American women step up. I have no idea when American men would be good in tennis again. Seeing the days of Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi are long gone. I don't even see a young tennis player, a young American male tennis player right now in the wings. I mean, if anybody knows of any young male American tennis player coming up, let me know. Type his name. I need to know. Do we got any hope in the future? Any hope? Do we have any hope at all in the men's tennis? I mean, I love Nadal and I love Roger Federer and I love Djokovic. I love all those guys. Andy Murray, but man, we need an American male player. We need a Sampras, an Agassi. Wow. I mean, it's bad. I'll take a James Blake right now. I'll take a James Blake. You get James Blake. I'll take him right now. Again, the lines are open. I'm going to stay 10 more minutes. Right now, I am just completely off the rails. I am just talking right now, talking about whatever hits my mind. So if you want to call in with some thoughts on some football, baseball, anything, call 864-378-5943, 378-5943, because right now, I am just freewheeling and dealing right now. I the world is my oyster. Not gonna get into anything political. Not today. Don't want to do it. I don't even want to talk about. I don't even want to talk about that. I ain't gonna even do that. I ain't gonna do it. I might save it for tomorrow. Yeah, because you stay tuned tomorrow, because there will be tomorrow on tomorrow's edition. There will be a Sentell sucker of the week. So you tune in for that, because that's happening. That's going down. That's happening. So tune in tomorrow for Sentell's sucker of the week. A huge sucker of the week coming up. So yeah. Open the show once again. Talking about the Cleveland Indians 21 game winning streak, American League record. We talked about Clemson's win over Auburn, 14-6. Kelly Bryant, 19-29, 181 yards passing, 59 yards rushing, 2 TDs. Clemson defense holds Auburn's offense to 117 yards of offense. I said 117 yards of offense. That actually happened. 117 yards of offense. I am baffled by that. That is Gus Malzahn, an offensive genius, could only manage to get 117 yards. I'm shocked by that. And the top 5 matchup of Oklahoma and Ohio State, it was Oklahoma going to Columbus and kicking the crap out of Ohio State, 31-16. Had the ball for 35 minutes. Baker Mayfield went for 386 yards with 3 TDs, 27-35 passing. And at the end of the game, just to add a little salt to the wound, he goes out in the middle of the field, plants the Oklahoma flag right in the O of the Ohio State. I thought it was great. He apologized on Monday. I have no idea why and for what. Doesn't make any sense to apologize for that. I enjoy seeing it myself personally. But good news for Buckeye fans is, for some reason, the AP poll still loves you guys. Hopefully, the playoff committee does not, because as I've said so many times before, as long as JT Barrett is your quarterback, you will win nothing. You will win nothing, and you will like it. You will win nothing. JT Barrett is your quarterback of significance. No Big Ten title. Definitely not. You shouldn't have gotten the playoff last year. You're definitely not going to playoff this year. You're definitely not winning that championship as long as JT Barrett's your quarterback. I'm sorry. I hate to beat the kid up. I know he's been in school 8 years, but I mean, it's just limited. I mean, for the talent that Ohio State has, it is disposal. You look at the last 2 of the last 3 games they played against really good opponents. They've been outscored, what, 62 to 16? Something like that. 62 to 16. Clemson and Oklahoma. I mean, so those are the kind of teams you're going to face when you get to the playoffs. Those are the type of teams you got to beat to win this conference. The Penn States, the Michigans, the Wisconsins of the world. So I have no faith in JT Barrett. I don't. Maybe you Ohio State fans do. Call in, convince me otherwise, because I don't believe it. I can't see it. Lines are open. I'll be here 5 more minutes. I am winging it right now. Winging it. 864-378-5943. 378-5943. I'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock because, I like to get in that hour before the kickoff because Thursday night game comes on about 8:20. So that'll give me a good hour, let you guys get time to get to your TVs and watch the game. I'll get you a good preview of the Texans and Bengals tomorrow, as well as to preview the big games in college football this weekend and the NFL games as well this weekend because I probably won't see you. I don't know. Maybe I'll see you before then, but definitely tomorrow at 7 o'clock. If you want to call in, man, lines open. Hey, call right now. Call me. I need a call. I want to talk to somebody about something. 864-378-5943. Y'all know the number. 378-5943. You know the number. 378-5943. So give me a call. If you want to talk about anything in the world of sports, anything you want to go, we've covered all our bases. Pretty much this is what I had. And I thought you guys would carry me the rest of the way. But as usual, you fooled me. But I managed to get through a whole hour. Tomorrow, I'm going to go a little over an hour, but I'll probably have a guest tomorrow. 864-378-5943. Thinking for a few more minutes. Anything else in the world? Oh, before I get off him, another reason why the Texans, Brian Cushing, was suspended today for 10 games for violating the league substance abuse policy, performance enhancing drugs. I'm sorry. I don't want to get them mixed up. One's steroids and one's maybe weed or some other drugs that they like to party with. But he's been suspended for 10 games, and this is not the first time he's been suspended for this. So from the world of I'm not surprised. But Texas got some problems, got some issues they got to figure out. More than the quarterback. I was high on that team coming to the season. I didn't know Dwayne Brown had not reported because of a contract dispute, and that's huge. When you don't have your franchise left tackle, that's huge. And given the way the offensive line plays Sunday, I would thought they would be giving him a call right after the game to get him in the count. But as of right now, I haven't heard anything. So I don't know. I don't know how long you can go without having your star left tackle. That's not a good look. Hey, a few more minutes. It's winding down. I know you want to call. You're watching, so call 378-5943. You know the number. 378-5943. Give me a call. Give me a holler. Anything in the world of sports you want to talk about, open lines. You don't have to be restricted. You can call and talk about whatever you want. Don't mind. Whatever you want to do. Let's see, 2 more minutes. And I managed to carry this show. I managed to carry this show. But a minute. And I didn't have much. But maybe I should have broke down this game a little longer. But I could have. I mean, I think I did a good job bringing them down. I don't think I could have broke down for the longer. Whatever. 2 more minutes. And I'm gonna get out of here. And I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Probably with a guest host. Maybe with 2. We'll break down and preview the biggest games over the weekend. College and pro. So you definitely want to tune in tomorrow. Get that breakdown. Preview the Texans Bengals matchup Thursday night. I talked about the Bengals earlier. They are a mess. It's time for a reset in Cincinnati. But are they just so comfortable with just being okay? You know how that works. Some people are just comfortable with being okay. And so we shall see in the future moving forward with the Bengals what they'll do. But should be an interesting matchup. Like especially if Deshaun starts. So but the Texans got to get the offensive line straightened out. It was putrid last week. It was very bad. Very bad. 864-378-5943. You know the number. You know the number. So tomorrow I have a big stack of these sheets trying to break down all the games this weekend. And big game of the week. Biggest game for the weekend of college football would be Clemson and Louisville. Number 3 ranked Clemson Tigers travel to Louisville on Saturday at 8 o'clock. That is a ESPN ABC game, and College Game Day will be there, so should be a big deal. Well, this has been Sentell. I'm your host. You know who I am, the one and only Sentell. So to tomorrow, I will see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, because I see people watching, but nobody want to call. We got to call and ask questions. That's how we get this thing rolling, man. Call and ask questions. I know y'all want to sit here and hear me talk and look at my mug all night. So I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, thank you for watching. I am out.